Hi there. Today I want to talk to you about a handful of words that could be translated into the English word fair, either F-A-I-R or F-A-R-E. Perhaps you're faring fairly fair because you paid a fare to take a ferry in fair weather. If that were the case, you might need a few more of these words under your belt in order to express all of that in Esperanto. Starting off, we'll talk about fair as in fair in appearance. My fair lady. You could say, oh, she has very fair skin. Now, you could be saying she looks pasty white and not so good. Or you could be saying, oh, yes, she has a fair complexion and it's beautiful. So in English, even, it's confusing what fair means some of the time. So in Esperanto, we can just be a little more specific and not have to worry about that ambiguity. You could be saying pala, which is pale. You could say blanca, which is white. Luma, as in light and luminous, as opposed to really dark features. Blonda, which is blonde. By the way, in English, if you're talking about a female, you put an E at the end of blonde. If you're talking about a male, you don't have an E there. That drives me crazy. Same thing with fiancé. If fiancé is talking about a guy, it's an E. If it's talking about a female, it's two E's at the end. Bela is beautiful, or Favora is favorous or favorable. She has a favorable complexion. And you could be describing maybe her skin, hauto, her hair, haro, her brows, like eyebrows, brovo, her forehead, which is another type of brow, frunto, or her overall face, visaggio. All right? Next, let's look at another meaning of fair, which is, hey, that's not fair, or, yeah, he acted very fair in that situation. That would be Justa, in most cases, which means just or impartial or unbiased. La jugisto estas justa. The judge is fair. You can see the little scales there of equal measure. Egala is a word for equal. It doesn't have necessarily the same moral connotation right off the gate. You could just be saying 2 plus 2 equals something, but you could also use that in a description to further go, oh, I understand. You're saying that this and this are equal, and that therefore makes it fair and just. For example, a fair fight, you wouldn't want to say Justa, bato, or schermo, a fair skirmish. You wouldn't say like it was a just fight. That's Batman fights for justice. If we're saying fair fight, we're simply saying both of the combatants are equally matched. And then you could say la luctistoi estas egale lertai. The combatants are equally skilled. And get the point across a little more clearly. You could say iom bona, somewhat good. Note that you can use iom to say either some, as in iom da folioi, some leaves, or you could just use it as somewhat as well. You don't have to put an E at the end of it there. I've seen it iome, but it's better to just say iom. So iom bona means somewhat good, and if you just mean it was a little good, you'd say iomete. So because of the et ending, you do have to add the e at the end of iomete, but iom itself doesn't need anything extra on there. So iom bona is somewhat good. You could say li estas iom felice. He is somewhat happy, or he is fairly happy. Okay, fairly good, fairly happy, somewhat, a little bit. Now on a comment card, if you said that the restaurant's service or prices were fair, you could mean it was just a step below poor. Like it's excellent, great, good, fair, poor. Okay, that's like second from the bottom. In that case, you could say netro bona. It wasn't too good. You could also say it was fair. It wasn't too bad either. Netro malbona. And finally, senpartia is another way of expressing impartialness. It's literally impartial or without a party, so it means unbiased. And that might be helpful for you too. Next, we're going to talk about fair as in an event. The fair is coming to town, okay? There could be a few different words that work for that. The two main ones you're going to be looking at, or going back and forth between in your head probably, are going to be Kermeso and Foiro. Kermeso is a fun fair, midway, carnival, it's fun and games. It's primarily there for amusements. Whereas Foiro is a trade show, a job fair, a state fair, an expo. State fair, that's interesting because you might be thinking, well, that's more for fun and games. Well, yeah, when you're a kid, all you're there for are the fun and games. But the adults know, yeah, there also are booths there where they're advertising local businesses, or maybe businesses are sponsoring the fun stuff so that you'll support their local businesses, or they'll even have farmers come there and have competitions. But they're also selling things and buying things. There's more economic stuff going on there than maybe we think about because The fun thing is the Ferris wheel that we want to go on, or winning the stuffed animals. So if there is a pretty strong economic element to it, then you would call it a foiro. But if it's simply there for fun and games, like if your church doesn't want everyone going out and trick-or-treating on Halloween because your kids are going to get abducted or because it's satanic or whatever, then the church might have a fall fun fair or a fall festival. That's going to be a Kermeso. It's just candy and games and fun and prizes, all right? Amus Parko is good to know because that means in a permanent amusement park, Six Flags, or if you're from Minnesota, Valley Fair. Those would be Amus Parkoi. Whereas Kermeso and Foiro, those are both temporary things. So they come to town, they do their thing, and they go. Or they're assembled once a year, and then it's disassembled later. Here's a false friend that we have in English that I want to clarify for you. Karnavalo might make you think, oh, that's another word for carnival. Oh, I'm going to go to the carnival and have a fun time. And you might use it for Kermeso, but that wouldn't be correct because Karnavalo is specifically talking about Carnival, which you might know about if you're familiar with Brazil. That's like their big holiday of the year. It's Mardi Gras, and that's French for Fat Tuesday. But we would know that in Esperanto land because Mardo is Tuesday and Grasa is fat. So Grasa Mardo is Fat Tuesday. Isn't it great to know this second language? Mardi Gras is right before Lent. It's the big feast you have, and then you're going to go on a big fast for a while, right up until Easter time. So Carnavalo can only refer to that time of year and that specific liturgical celebration. You can't have a Halloween Carnavalo thing. That, like, what? That's like having a Christmas pageant in the middle of July for a 4th of July tailgating party. Well, you could have a party, but you can't call it a Christmas party. So Carnavalo, it might look like carnival, and we use carnival in North America to mean more things, but don't use it unless you're specifically talking about that holiday, all right? Just to know as well is circo means circus, festivalo is festival, and congresso is convention. I was trying to figure out, should Comic-Con, for example, be an expo, a foiro? They are selling stuff there. There's definitely, it's a good way for them to advertise new movies coming out and have panels with the actors. But it's also a convention. Some of them are less economically driven and more just, I love Star Trek and you love Star Wars and let's talk about it. Most Esperanto meetups are less economic. I mean, I might sell a few Captain Katie books, or Johnny M might sell some music, or there might be some Esperanto t-shirts for sale, but overall it's not about that. It's about meeting up and having a good time with people, but without necessarily crazy fun and games and clowns and stuff either. So Congreso is a good one to learn. Finally, let's talk about F-A-R-E words. Adiao is farewell. Okay, that's a goodbye. So you could just say adiao, and that's saying goodbye. Or you could say she adiauis lin, she bid him farewell. Or she donis al li adiauon, she gave to him a goodbye. In that case, you put an on at the end to make sure everyone knows, that's the direct object that was given. Nutraĵo would be the word for fare, as in, I've been eating very healthy fare at the place that I'm staying. So that's fare or nutrition. Farti is to fare, like, how are you doing? Kiel vi fartas? Mi fartas bone, char mi havas anason. You've seen that in probably some Esperanto t-shirts. It sounds silly. All it means is I'm doing well because I have a duck. But it sounds like you're talking about passing gas, and that would be furzi if you were to pass gas. But if you want to avoid saying farti because you think people are going to give you a hard time, you could most of the time just say prosperi instead. To prosper is prosperi. Ĉu via avino prosperas? Is your grandma doing well? That works too. Flugprezo. And by the way, this is it's supposed to be a little Star Trek insignia. I am so bad at drawing, but that, live long and prosper. Vivu longe kai prospero. Okay. Flugprezo would be the word for airfare, what you pay to get on a plane. Veturprezo would be what you pay to get driven around. That's like cab fare. Finally, pram or pramshipo. I should have put Pramo. There should be an O there, or at least a little mark to say that I'm eliding. So Pramo is the word for a ferry, as in a boat that takes humans or cars across a body of water. So pretend there's an O there at the end of pram. That should be Pramo. And those are your ferry words for today. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.